How are you tonight, sir? That's you.
I'm doing great, guys. How's everybody doing there in 6B?
We are doing well. Just figured since you are I would say the connoisseur of Michigan, you would know everything about Michigan. You do your show from Michigan. Hey, I figured that's the guy we need to talk to about this primary. How are things going?
It's turnout's been about 35%, which, for a primary is not too bad. Michigan, of course, we're doing everything differently now. We've got voting season for every election. You don't have an election day. You don't have a primary day. You have an election season, and that was something ushered in during the pandemic. As you know, it happened all over the country. So we have 9 days of early in-person voting, and on Saturday, I was told today that the turnout at the polls is 35%. I'm sitting here looking at numbers from 2 or 3 different places. I got nothing for you right now, but look, this is a foregone conclusion.
Right.
This party's over. The fat lady began singing a while ago. No, sorry about that for the fat ladies, but they've been singing for a while because this is over. I don't know what Miss Haley is up to because she's been done for a while. Donald Trump will win here by a mile. Joe Biden will win too, but here's the thing to watch as far as what's happening, and that is uncommitted on the Democrat side. That's a protest vote coming primarily from Muslim and Arab voters in Dearborn and Southeast Michigan saying, we don't like the way you are conducting yourself when it comes to what's happening in Gaza, Mr. Biden, and we're rejecting you. This is a traditional Democrat voting bloc, but they have a problem, as you guys know.
Right.
Because you've got the traditional Muslim and Arab voters that support Democrats, southeastern Michigan. Rashida Tlaib, one of your favorites, of course. I know that.
Oh, we love
and
her.
I know she's one of your heroes. David Zier's a big fan. I know that. and look at him. And but then you've got the traditional Jewish voters who are also a Democrat voting bloc. You can't have them both. You can't have it both ways. I'll see how that plays out here tonight, and I'm watching for numbers.
Right. Now, let me ask you this, because you did mention Nikki Haley. She's, of course, she's got a long face lately about the turnout and how she's been doing in the previous states. But you know what? Hey, she's only 0 for everything right now. Let me ask you this question, because I heard this floated, and I forget who mentioned it, but these the no labels party is now, I guess, that they're stirring up the interest. Oh, well, maybe she might be our candidate. From what I understand, because she's already on the Republican ticket and running as a Republican, she's not available to jump to a different political party. Am I right or am I wrong?
Heck, I don't know. I mean, I think it's America. You want to run. And in fact, I say the more the merrier. And look at this. I mean, if you look at the polls, you guys see this stuff, same as I do. If you put Donald Trump head-to-head with Joe Biden, Donald Trump wins. He wins in Michigan. He wins in Pennsylvania. He certainly wins in Georgia after that tragic murder of the college co-ed last Thursday, Lake and Riley. We know that I think Georgia's off the table because of that. She is the face of the open border. We'll get back to that. If you put Trump against Biden head-to-head, Trump wins 2, 3, 4, 5 points, whatever. When you throw everybody else in the mix, when you throw in Robert F. Kennedy Jr.,
right,
and you throw in Cornel West and Jill Stein and the No Labels or No Clue Party or whatever they are, Trump wins by 6, 7, 8, sometimes 10 points. I mean, bring them all to the party. Listen. Abraham Lincoln won with 39% of the vote in a 4-way race. I think that worked out. All right. So I'm just going to go, you don't have to have 50% of the vote. You just have to win.
Yeah.
And for our country right now, you just have to win.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Now, are you getting any sense of, in terms of numbers, because in South Carolina, we saw he won by 21 points, but most of her voters came from Democrats and independents, and that
about a third.
People.
About a third.
What's the sense of you seeing in terms of the numbers coming out of Michigan?
I'll go out on a limb here. It's going to be a lot more than 21 points in Michigan.
Really?
There are going to be some games played. Michigan, because the Democratic nomination is secure. The guy that's going to get it's not aware that he's going to get it, but the Democrats are going to nominate a guy who doesn't know where he is, and that's fine. So there might be some Democrats that cross over, because all you have to do, when I voted today, you walk in, you say you want a Democrat ballot, you want a Republican ballot, you can't have both. That's it. That's all there is to it. You take one, and if you want to vote for, Biden or Phillips or, Marianne Williamson or whatever, you can do that. You can vote for one, that's it. And really, That's all there is to this. I see, here's what I do see, guys, and this is really important. I've got two young guys that I know that were both Biden voters. One's 24, one's 28.
All right.
One's really progressive, the 28-year-old, and I know him fairly well. And he has told me over the course of the last 3 years, he voted for Biden, didn't like Trump. About a year ago, he said, I couldn't vote for Biden again. I couldn't vote for Trump, but I couldn't vote for Biden again. Okay, that was about a year ago. More recently, he says, I'm going to vote for Trump. This is a guy who is a hardcore, very far left of center individual. The other one, more, center left, but like saying, I'm voting for Trump. He told me that today.
Right.
Because I'm voting for Trump. He goes, I've seen enough. I mean, they can look, they're not oblivious. NBC, CBS, CNN, they can all try to block out the Laken Riley story. They can try to block out the Joe Biden stories. They can try to block out, Joe Biden doing a news conference. But people can see it. Joe, Joe. I mean, come on. People can see this, right?
Yeah, and then you lump in the way the media tries to portray things. That take the Laken Riley story for example. Yeah. The AP saying, "Well, it was a resident of Athens."
Yeah, seven paragraphs deep.
Right.
They finally say illegal, or
hold on. Let's make a couple of important points here, and this is really important. And I want to point this out. And you guys, look, Athens is a sanctuary city. Newsflash. Sanctuary city, like so many college towns in America. East Lansing, which I'm not too far from, sanctuary city. Ann Arbor, sanctuary city. So University of Michigan, Michigan State, University of Georgia, sanctuary city. Here's something else. This guy came into the country illegally, September of 2022, El Paso sector, Texas. Was released into the country, goes to New York. There, how's this read? He did something to create a danger or a criminal with a person under 17, right? I had it written here. I don't have it. Anyhow. So some sort of a violent threat to a child under 17. That happened in New York. Released before a detainer can be put in place. Goes to Georgia. In Georgia, gets arrested for drunk driving and shoplifting. Released again. Think about this. Just a couple of weeks ago, 150 Democrats in the United States Congress voted against a provision to expel, to kick out of our country illegal aliens, people here illegally driving drunk on the streets of America. Yeah, that's not reason enough to kick him out. This guy's a drunk driver. If that were reason enough, we could kick him out, and this young lady might still be alive in Georgia. Didn't happen. I'm telling you, the biggest thing for people right now is this open border. We just had a bus stopped in Traverse City, Michigan a couple of days ago, painted black, no markings on it. It's pulled over by the sheriff's department in Grand Traverse County, Michigan. It's up in northern Lower Michigan. Nice area. Nobody has paperwork that makes sense. Nobody can speak English. The sheriff's like, something's wrong here. So they call in Border Patrol. They take the bus across the Mackinac Bridge into Michigan's Upper Peninsula, all the way to Sault Ste. Marie, which is right on the Canadian border, process them all, and turn them loose.
Oh.
I mean, this is the biggest thing facing America. It is an existential threat. Everybody knows it. And all of a sudden, Joe Biden's running down to the border for only the second time in his life. Donald Trump said he's going to the border, Eagle Pass. I don't know if you guys saw. I had a chance to talk to Donald Trump this morning. Talked to him for a long time. He was on the program today. And all of a sudden, Joe Biden's running down there as well. We got to go to the border. Like he has any idea where the border is, what the hell's going on. Give me a break. Anyhow, he's going down there because his handler's like, oh, my God, we've got this co-ed, this young girl murdered by an illegal from Venezuela, and she is now the face. She is the face of the failure of the Biden administration. This 22-year-old nursing student is the face of the failure of our border and the threats to all America, including Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, which is squarely in the middle of almost not much at all. I won't say nowhere, but this is remote, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. This is a remote piece of real estate. They're shipping these folks everywhere. It affects everyone, and it's going to cost them bigly in November.
Steve, I wanted to ask you a quick question. So the auto workers, the union president supports Biden, but what is the man on the street who has an auto job? And what do they think about the Chinese-owned EV battery plant?
Well, here in Michigan, they hate. Most people hate these EV Chinese plants. One's the Goshen plant, Big Rapids. That's where Ferris State University is. The other one's south of Marshall, Michigan. It's called the Blue Oval plant. It's a cooperative with Ford. But look, David, All the EV stuff is going away. And now the Chinese, what is it, BYD? What's the name of this company? You guys help me out here. The biggest EV company in the world, bigger than Tesla now, wants to set up shop in Mexico and South America.
Goshen Inc.
And it's not Goshen, it's the Chinese car manufacturer. It doesn't matter. Anyhow, the Chinese can build an EV for $11,000.
Hefty.
UAW can't do that.
Right.
They can't do that. And so this path to EVdom, I mean, 60,000 people are going to lose their jobs in the auto industry. There's only 146,000 UAW members left. Think about that. That's it. There were 1.5 million in 1979. Today, there are 146,000. That's all that's left.
Yeah, that's amazing.